Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a magic review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Today, we are gonna look at the quantum deck from Master Magician Craig Petty. He's also got a YouTube channel. I hope you've gone down there and given that guy a like and a sub. It's not often that you see a creator who is in the magic industry, who creates and who performs, actually performs paid gigs, who also is a content creator, So jack of all trades, the man does it all. And on top of that, super sweet guy, wonderful dad. Yeah, can't say enough great things about Craig Petty. I know what you're thinking. What are you doing with the quantum deck? All right, here's the honest truth, okay? Quantum deck came out a little while ago, and when it came out, lots of buzz, right? There's a lot of discussion. Lots of people were talking about it. I think there's 9 magic reviews out there for it. And Craig had it on his channel, featured several times. He did an interview on Alakazam about it. There was pages and pages and pages of discussion about it in the forums. Everybody was talking about it, and I just stayed away from it. And so at the end of the year in December, Murphy's reached out to me and they said, hey, you know, are there any tricks that you're thinking about? And I said, you know what? There's one trick that I just cannot get out of my skull that I stayed away from, and I've just been curious about it ever since. Could you guys let me check out the quantum deck? And they're like, yeah, great. So Murphy's Magic sent me the quantum deck, and it was over 4 hours of tutorial, 5 hours. It's at least 5 hours, if not more than 5 hours of tutorial. Watched it, deck in hand. Let me just say, the fears that I had, because I listened to the critics. Yeah, I shouldn't have listened. I shouldn't have listened. The thing about the deck, I shouldn't have been afraid of it. It works better than I thought. And the math is not as hard as I thought. There is some math, Let's not say that there isn't. There's math, but it's not bad. It is not bad at all. It's pretty easy. And when you watch Craig do it, I think he definitely eases you into it. There's so much hand-holding, so much training, so much over-the-top tutorial, it's ridiculous. If you were afraid of this, don't be. Don't be. This is a great trick. All right, that's out of the way. That's out of the way. If you don't know, if you were living under a rock, what is quantum deck? Quantum deck is a card at any number routine that uses a blank deck. So a blank deck, blank on both sides, right? Spectator freely calls out a number, you deal down to that number, and the card is there. Now, in the main body trick, the spectator does not get to pick what that card is. You just tell them. You say, I have a 3 of diamonds in my deck. It's somewhere in the middle. You know, where do you think it is? And they say 17. You say, okay, let's go. And you count down 17 cards, and it's there, front and back. And you can show all the other cards front and back as well. Everything's blank. There is no half-printed cards. There is no blank on one side, printed on the other side cards, okay? You will show every card, both sides blank. Yep. Is it what I thought? Yes, it is still what I thought, because despite Craig desperately saying, please don't give out any secrets, people give out secrets. I don't know why. Magicians love to expose other creators' works. I think that's, I try not to in my reviews. I really try to speak in code and try to tiptoe around how things are done. Let's not expose magic. But I feel like because people were talking about it so much, I think way too much got exposed about it. So it's well made, beautifully well made. Even more well made than I thought. I thought it'd be more like some other trick decks that I've had before in the past, and I thought it would feel and handle like that, and it actually doesn't. I was really surprised at how well it was made. So you get the deck, and you get the drawer slide box, and the deck comes ready to go. Ready to go. The only thing you need is a force card. So you can force any card you like from any deck back you like. So that's another great thing. This trick deck will work with any deck in your collection. Red back, blue back, black back, yellow back, fan back, wheel back, anything, right? Because it's blank. So you pick your own force card. That's it. So that's all you need. Let's talk about the videos. There are 6 videos altogether. Okay, 6 downloads. There's at least 5 hours. Okay, one of those hours is just performances. So you're getting 4 hours of teaching. When they say 4 hours, that's 4 hours of teaching. The first video is 1 hour and 5 minutes, and it's Craig on Zoom calls talking to some of your very favorite magicians, and he goes through the trick with them. You're going to see him perform 18 times, and you get all the heavyweights: John Bannon, Sean Farquhar, Dee Christopher, Peter Nardi, Adam Wilbur, Henry Harrius, Chris Dugdale, Damien O'Brien, David Jonathan, and Kyle Purnell. You'll also see strolling performances where Craig, remember I said Craig's an actual magician, right? Real magician, working magician, paid magician. See him at weddings. You also see him do this on stage. So right in the very first hour, you see what? This trick fools magicians. All those names I just mentioned. Fools magicians. You can do it online. You can do it in person. And you can do it on stage. Craig proves all those points in the very first hour. Those videos alone are testimony to how strong this trick is. And to see your favorite magicians, to see Kyle Purnell just like scratching his head, to see David Jonathan going, I have no idea how you did that. I mean, yeah, several of these magicians, he does the trick twice. You know, you're never supposed to do a trick twice. Craig does it twice for the same magician, real magicians that you know. They're fooled each time. One magician, he does it for 3 times. Blows them away every single time. They have no idea. They're scratching their heads. Guys, if this trick fools magicians at that caliber, yes, it will fool your spectators. No question. Absolutely no question. So that's the first video. The second video is 1 hour and 15 minutes long. Craig's going to talk about the quantum deck, give you its history, its crediting, and then he'll talk to you about how it works. And then he's going to go through how you get that card at that number. And he'll talk about, you know, whether a spectator is kind of outside of your range or inside of your range or the sweet spot. And he'll talk about how to examine the deck and how to care for it. The third video is 2 hours long. You'll get the main trick, the card at any number. But he will also give you 3 versions of any card at any number. He'll also give you one of those tricks where you talk about seeing all the deck and having all the cards fade away until only 1 card is left. He'll teach you a birthday trick, a signed card trick. A named card becomes a printed card at any number. He'll teach you a transpo. And the 4th video is 40 minutes long. He'll talk to you about how to do this trick virtually, how to use this deck as a forcing deck. Then there's a jam session, and then there's an outro. And all of these videos are shot by Lloyd Barnes. They're in a darkened room. Craig's kind of like in a desk office library. He's seated at a table. There's no live performances for any of the teaching. It's just going to be Craig one-on-one with you. Now, there are 2 more videos. They're shot differently. They look like they were shot at a later time, perhaps after the trick came out. There's a 5th video where Craig talks to you about how to increase your number range. Why would there be a number range? I thought the ad copy says they can pick any number. Well, they can pick any number, but the odds of them picking a super, super low number, like 1 through 9, or a super, super high number, like, 45 or above, is probably small, right? Most people are not gonna pick those extremes, especially when you say the card is in the middle. The card's in the middle somewhere. It's somewhere in the middle. So that gives them a nice range of your 20s, your 30s, somewhere in there. And that's most of the time where people will hit. Anywhere from the teens through the late 30s is probably where your sweet spot is. The 6th video is a 20-minute video. It's all bonus ideas, other things you can do. And if you've ever purchased a Craig Petty effect before, you know this to be true. Craig goes above and beyond with his teaching. I don't think I've ever said of a Craig Petty video, that was way too short. Never. Craig goes above and beyond. He really wants to give you everything you need, holds your hand through the entire thing. You're not going to feel lost or afraid or I don't know if I could do this at the end. I mentioned math. Even Craig says that he's not great at math, okay? So it'll be fine. Pocket space, it's just a deck. It's just the deck, nothing to add or take away. You're not palming cards out, you're not ringing cards in. Your card is in the deck when the trick starts, okay? Angles-wise, there's nothing to see. You're not gonna flash anything. The only way you would flash is if you did your math incorrectly and you got to the card before you were supposed to. That would be your only flash, okay? But that just means you do your math right and you'll get to the card every single time. Can it be inspected? This was one of the controversial things that people were talking about. And here's what I'm gonna say. Number one, we talk about inspectability with tricks way too much. If spectators are constantly asking to inspect your props, you're doing something wrong, okay? Second, it's an all blank deck. What is there to inspect? It's not like there's marks on the back, right? So when you show them every card, front and back, which is how the routine goes, you show them every card, front and back, they're not gonna ask to see the deck. What are they gonna see? You should hand them the force card. Say, here, look at the force card, right? Sure. But you're not gonna be handing these cards out. There's no reason to. It's an all blank deck. If they did hold it, would they discover anything? I don't think so. I think your average spectator could handle the cards casually and not see anything. Could a magician handle the deck? No. The moment I took the deck out of the box, I already knew what to look for, but it was obvious as a magician. I've held decks like this before in the past, so I know what they're supposed to feel like, and it did. So it's not gonna fool a magician, but you're not performing for magicians. And if you recall, Craig did this as a Zoom call for magicians. So there's more than one way to fool a magician, okay? So let's be clear. Set up and reset, yeah, you'll put the deck back in the order that it started in. Put the force card back where it goes, but that's it. Positives. All right, let's talk about the positives. It's a great trick. It is a great trick, and it's solid. It's Craig Petty. I mean, you have any other Craig Petty tricks? I mean, it's gonna follow suit. It's Craig Petty and Murphy's Magic. It's a beautiful combination. I don't know why I listen to the naysayers. I don't. I don't know why I allowed the hype to scare me off from a great trick. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. Bad magician. I shouldn't have. There were so many reviews out there that were positive and good. I should have taken my own advice and listened to them and not paid attention to all the, utter garbage that was just being, and lies that were on the internet. Absolutely. So yeah, if you didn't pick this up and you stayed away for those reasons that I said, I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. Negatives. What are the negatives? I mentioned the negative. There is a range. There's a range for where the number can be. Obviously, they can't pick one, right? It would be on the top of the deck if they said one. It would be right there. Well, you can't pick one, right? Obviously, and I did say it was in the middle of the deck. So numbers, 1 through 10 or 50 above. Yeah, there's a range. There's definitely a range. They can't pick. But the odds of them even going outside of the range is very, very small. And what's the other negative? That a magician can't handle the deck? How often would I say that about any trick? I would never hand any of my tricks to a magician, ever. But the great news is now, if you didn't buy it already, there are 9 other reviewers out there who've done it. So go listen to any one of those other 9 review channels. For one, you got Craig Petty himself, right? Craig's out there, he's reviewing this. Fiddlin' Johnny, Tyler Lunsford, Alexis Reviews, Lloyd Barnes, Sebastian Toka's magic reviews, Deceive Reality, Khan Oktogan, Gray Magic TV. There's that interview on Alakazam. But big, huge thanks to Craig Petty and big, huge thanks to Murphy's Magic for allowing me to have this so I could do the review for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.